Welcome to this explainer. Listen, there's a massive shift happening right now in the developer world. We're talking about a real transition away from those polished, standard AI IDEs we've all kind of gotten used to, and we're stepping straight into the highly customizable hacker ethos world of open source autonomous agents. If you've ever felt boxed in by the tools you use to write code, yeah, you're going to want to pay close attention today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. You're deep in the zone, right? You're generating this massive multi-file refactor. And boom, suddenly a pop-up appears telling you that you've reached your AI quota for the day. And you have to wait 12 hours. It's a completely frustrating pain point. You've got that typical $20 a month subscription limit holding you back. But on the flip side, elite developers are entirely bypassing this. They're using standard VS Code, pasting in a raw API key, and unlocking absolute freedom. We're talking unthrottled access, zero arbitrary restrictions.
So here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, the vendor lock-in problem. 2, windsurf and autonomous execution. 3, the BYOK Rebellion. 4, model context protocol. And finally 5, the economics of BYOK. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the vendor lock-in problem.
We really need to take a hard, objective look at the friction and the genuine limitations that come from relying exclusively on closed ecosystem subscriptions. Yes, these tools are polished and they're powerful, but they come with a hidden cost. When you buy into a single ecosystem, you're basically paying a massive premium for a beautiful UI, and worse, you are letting a vendor dictate what model you can use and exactly how often you can use it. Think about it. What if you're a power user who wants to use Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet to map out your architecture, but then, say, you want to instantly switch to DeepSeek v4 for some heavy math logic, and then finish up with a free local model just to write your commit messages? Well, in a locked-in system, you simply can't do that.
Which brings us to Section 2, windsurf and autonomous execution.
Now, before we go entirely open source, we absolutely have to talk about a uniquely powerful IDE that is actively stealing market share right now. And it's doing this by prioritizing autonomous execution and proprietary speed. Windsurf has a really distinct edge here. See, most tools out there are just wrapping standard models from OpenAI or Anthropic, right? But the creators of Windsurf, Codium, they went ahead and built SWE 1.5. This is a proprietary model trained specifically for agentic coding workflows. It's not just a polite little assistant, it is a relentless, autonomous executor built from the ground up with one priority: speed.
And when I say speed, I mean literally terrifying speed. 950. That is a staggering number. The SWE 1.5 model processes roughly 950 tokens per second. I mean, it is executing tasks faster than you can even read the output. It's wild.
So Windsurf operates via this agent called Cascade. Let's say you tell it to implement rate limiting across an entire backend API. It doesn't pause to ask you for a line-by-line diff approval. No way. It operates completely autonomously. It maps out its plan, writes the middleware, updates the settings, and then runs the test. Boom, boom, boom. A totally seamless, hands-off execution.
And what's really fascinating here is this concept of parallel agents. With Windsurf, you can open up a tab, point an agent at your back-end codebase, and at the exact same time, open another tab and point a totally different agent at your front-end codebase. They're just executing on different threads simultaneously. This tool fundamentally assumes that you want it to drive the car.
All right, let's shift gears to Section 3, the BYOK Rebellion.
So what if you don't want a completely new IDE? Or what if your enterprise has super strict security protocols and you're required to use standard VS Code? Well, that brings us to BYOK, or Bring Your Own Key. Instead of paying a flat subscription to some middleman, you use completely free Apache 2.0 open source extensions like Klein or its amazing community fork, RuCode. You just plug your direct AI provider API keys straight into standard VS Code. The extensions themselves, they make zero money off of you. You're just paying the AI provider directly, perfectly at cost.
And this brilliantly illustrates the massive power of BYOK. Absolute freedom. You aren't tied down. You can drop in an Anthropic key, then switch to Google Gemini, route things through OpenRouter or AWS Bedrock, maybe use DeepSeek, or even hit a completely free local Llama instance. Because you're hitting the API directly, you're dealing with zero rate limits and absolutely no vendor lock-in.
Now, obviously, with all this power comes a serious need for control. Let's contrast Windsurf's unbridled autonomy with how a tool like RuCode handles things. They use a brilliant human-in-the-loop safety mechanic. In plan mode, it reads your codebase and provides a markdown checklist of exactly what it intends to change. It just reasons, it doesn't touch the code.
You review the plan, and only after you approve it, it switches to act mode and actually executes the terminal commands. It is honestly the perfect balance of agentic power and safety.
Moving right along. Section 4. Model Context Protocol.
Listen, if BYOK was the only feature, these tools would just be cheap alternatives. But they have something else that elevates this whole thing to full, system-wide automation, the Model Context Protocol. MCP is an open standard, and frankly, it's a secret weapon. In a standard setup, an AI only knows about your local text files, right? But MCP allows AI models to securely connect to external data sources. It literally transforms your standard text editor into a full-scale operations center, giving your agent real, actual superpowers.
Here is an insanely cool real-world example of MCP in action. Imagine telling your agent to build a user interface based on your database. First, the agent breaks out of the text editor and executes a SQL query to your local Postgres database to find the exact JSON structure. Second, it builds the React component. Third, it spins up a headless Chrome browser using Puppeteer, renders the component, and takes a screenshot. And fourth, it actually analyzes that screenshot visually to automatically fix a CSS bug. The AI didn't just guess the schema, and it didn't just hope the CSS looked good. It actively checked its own work. It is totally mind-bending.
And because MCP is an open standard, developers are building servers for literally everything. You can connect your agent directly to Postgres, Puppeteer, Slack, AWS, Jira, Figma, the whole shebang. Your AI can now read your Figma designs, check Jira tickets, and deploy to AWS, all directly from your IDE.
So, what does this all mean for your wallet? Section 5. The economics of BYOK.
So, the crucial point is, how much does all this power actually cost? Let's take a cold, hard look at the economics. The managed IDE strategy, like Cursor or Windsurf, that gives you zero setup and guaranteed uptime for a flat rate of about $20 a month, very predictable. But the BYOK agent strategy, like Klein or Rucode, is pay-per-token. Now, if you're a casual developer, coding just a few hours a week, running a BYOK agent might genuinely only cost you $2 or $3 a month, so it can be drastically cheaper.
However, here is a surprising fact for the heavy hitters out there. If you're a senior engineer grinding 8 hours a day, executing massive multi-file refactors constantly, your API bill can easily hit $60 a month at $3 per million input tokens. So yeah, you're actually paying more than the flat subscription. But you are intentionally trading that price predictability for absolute unthrottled power, privacy, and control.
In today's landscape, elite developers are treating AI models like interchangeable power tools. You grab a proprietary model for raw speed and an open-source MCP integration for cross-platform automation. But when you compare walled gardens like Cursor to tools like Claude Code or even generators like Lovable, which paradigm actually wins when forced to build the exact same applications side by side in the real world? That is the question you need to be asking yourself as you choose your next AI tool. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.